Welcome to my footage of Finnish Brutality 2025. Let's start with the first stage, Tight Spot. This is kind of a blind stage, meaning we started inside of the armored vehicle without knowing how this barricade looks or where the targets exactly are. We start at the barricade, we make one hit at a rifle target that I need to look for here for a bit. Unfortunately, I misjudged the offset I need and will miss the first shot. If you miss that single shot, per slot you get one shot, you will have to move to the penalty shot. That's this box, the same target, just one hit. If you do not, once you make that shot, or if you not miss the first shot, you can move to that box and hit one of the 5 pepper poppers. Now that repeats until you have shot down all 5 pepper poppers. You just move from slot 1 to 3 and then start by 1 again. Yeah, and you can see I kind of struggle getting up because the space between the armored vehicle and the barricade was really tight. And as you can see, it's quite tight. I compete with my go-to rifle, that being a B&T APC Pro. And it has a 16-inch barrel. It is not a small gun, even without the suppressor. It is definitely a rifle built for the hills and the mountains in Switzerland, and not for tight spaces, that's for sure. Yeah, I think the most difficult part, that what definitely cost the most time on this stage, was getting in and out of these positions without breaking the 180, because that still applies. So yeah, you kind of have to be very mindful where your muzzle goes while moving in and out of position. Couldn't do it quite as fast as I would have liked to. And you can see the way I have to regrip the rifle. Okay, I've just not to break the 180, or at least not get close to breaking it. Yeah, and here, just the time I need to get into the position for slot 2, I kind of had to end up sitting down with my back against the wheel of the armored personal carrier, and that just takes so much time getting down there and getting back up of it. So yeah, that wasn't good. And just before I can get another hit and make the last popper, that's my result.
And do you see the grey thing?
Yes.
On this side of it, not on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll ask you, are you ready when you are sitting down and hands on knees?
Okay, yes.
Okay, go.
Alright, stage 5, Ice Ice Baby. We start in this hot tub full of just above freezing water. On the timer, we start with the stage gun, which is one of the new Sacco AR-15s. We have a total of 5 steel targets, 4 big ones and 1 small one in the middle. Now we have to hit these targets in sequence from left to right twice, so a total of 10 shots. But the magazine in the stage gun only has 12 rounds, so you really want to make sure that you don't miss. That wasn't really all too much trouble for me, I took my time, but what you did notice definitely was the waves that you created while moving back and forth. As soon as the time went, you didn't really notice the cold, you mostly noticed, oh, I need to make sure I actually stabilize myself properly. So you hand off the rifle and your time is with your last shot. But now to finish the stage you have 2 options. Either you go directly into the sauna, warm up, or what I did, and what will give you 20-second bonus on your time, run back to the end of the bay, undress out in the open, put on new dry clothes and build a fire with a knife and a magnesium rod to get warm. Now, as I said before, yes, it was cold, but honestly, as soon as I put on my new dry underlayer, I already was warm again. So by that point, the fire was kind of like not that important anymore. I still tried to lit it, but I didn't really had to at that point for just to get warm again, which is kind of a proof of my layering system that really worked out.
Now, innovation in the Swiss military. Ooh, so fast.
Yes, and that is the result of that stage. Alright, stage 1, ski patrol. Here we start on Finnish military skis, and our first target is a small steel plate in between those two no-shoots. So to make sure I didn't get a 60-second penalty, I used the ski poles as a bipod. Now, the entire stage we had to ski, cross-country ski, in this high contact position, meaning ski poles in one hand, in the off hand, and the rifle in your main hand, which is a little bit more difficult than it seems, since you can't really, you're kind of more sliding along than actually skiing. You can't use the poles properly. Now on the first shooting position, the first of 3, you have to use the ski poles as a bipod. Yeah, and you see me struggle getting into position a bit. I had to crouch down mainly because my boots they are mountain boots that I'm wearing. They are my usual winter boots, and they are a bit too stiff for that I can actually go into a kneeling position, because I can't quite lift my boots high or my heels high up enough to actually go to a kneeling position in those skis. Otherwise perfectly fine, obviously, but those skis kind of just block me. There I switched the carrying method, just because the rifle got a bit heavy, just holding it out like that to not break the 180. Honestly, I get the idea behind that high readiness way of skiing, but honestly I would have been way more efficient and way faster to shoot again if I could have just slung the rifle and ski normal. Here on the second shooting position, again 2 steel targets, hitting each twice without double taps. We have a bigger one and a small plate. Yeah, here you had to use the ski poles as a monopod. And again, at the last position, again, there's 2 steel targets, the regular big one and the small plate. But you can shoot freestyle. I chose to just use the bipod again, might as well. But yeah, you can see me struggling to get some speed without using the poles properly. Yeah, now I think I kind of got into move a bit more. Now for the last shot you have to remove the magazine and make a high value shot, which I made, no problem. Yeah, and that's the result of the stage. Alright, the next stage, 2, Fast and Furious. We start on the ATV. We have 3 steel plates, 2 big ones and a small one. We hit each plate once. I'm struggling here a little bit with the small one. Had to get a bit more support. Then we remove the magazine and make a final hit on the small plate. If you make the hit, you get 5 seconds bonus, but no penalty if you miss. Then we move the ATV to the next position and repeat the whole process.
Right here, right.
Once you are through the course, you will move back to the first position and make some more hits. Yeah, you can see me loading the rifle again. Making the hits. I'm getting kind of into the flow. Making the hits again, remove the magazine. And another hit. Yeah, that was a really fun stage. Honestly, it was my first time driving something like an ATV or even a bike in general, so the whole controls were something completely new for me. If we would have had more snow, we would have been doing the whole stage with a snowmobile, which I'm sure would also have been great, but it was really fun. But yeah, you saw me, I wasn't quite driving as fast as I could. I've seen some people in the previous squad turning the ATV 180 degrees, losing some time getting it straightened out again. But yeah, that was a really fun stage. For one, because yeah, driving that thing was fun. On the other hand, depending on how you put the ATV, you also kind of had a shooting channel by just the way you had to contort your body to try and make those hits. One thing I noticed is I really had to make sure once I got that extra hit and put away the rifle, I really had to make sure I put it away far enough so it didn't get in the way of the handle especially when I turned to the left. Now, if you would have hit one of those tires, you would get a 60-second penalty, so I made sure not to go too fast. And then again, at the beginning of the course, make some more hits. Yeah, there I accidentally grabbed a pistol mag, and since I cannot just drop it, that would be a 60-second penalty, I had to reinsert it. And just went, oh well, I go and grab the old mag, it's probably gonna be fine. And luckily it was, I didn't have to reload. Yeah, and that's the result of that stage. Now for the last stage of the first match day, stage 3, I Got You Brother. We will move to the first cover. We have 3 steel plates, 2 hits each, no double taps. Quite simple. Getting the hits there. Now we will place the rifle and we'll drag the dummy into cover. Once we have him completely in cover or behind that line, we will switch to the next dummy that actually has a pump and some fake blood. And we will apply a tourniquet to the dummy until the blood flow stops. Yeah, we have one of the ROs giving us some motivation while doing that, obviously. But yeah, just applying a tourniquet with proper pre-tightening, you should be good with 1.5 turns and the blood flow usually should be stopped by that point. I always take my time, put on the closure of the tourniquet, then we will move back to the cover and re-engage those plates. Again, 6 hits in total. When we have those, we will move to the next cover. Again, 6 hits, and then one final hit without the magazine. A high value shot again. It was a really nice day. We had great weather, just around -10 degrees Celsius, but it was nice and cold, but not in a way that it actually gave us any problems. And that's the time of that stage. Thank you very much for watching my match footage. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye.